Hello world, Geriatric Geek here. How in the heck are you? I hope you're doing great. Welcome, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Today is May 10th, 2023, Wednesday. Beautiful morning here in North Las Vegas. I hope it's nice wherever you are. I see there's some storms back east or in the Texas area today, so hopefully you guys stay safe. Excuse me. So if you hopefully you watched my video yesterday, my out and about video to where I took you to Best Buy and Walmart to look for the new movies. We found a few things on the shelves. I'm very happy to say, and I enjoyed making that video. So hopefully you watched it. Yesterday I did pick up some stuff. So I wanted to share that with you today. That's what we do on Wednesdays. Usually I do a haul video if I pick anything up. And indeed I did. So let's get started. Let me share with you what I picked up. The first item was not released yesterday. It's been released for quite a long time. But recently I've been doing a lot of watching or rewatching of haunted house kinds of movies. And very recently, I just rewatched Rose Red, the miniseries, the Stephen King written Rose Red. And after I did that, I was doing some more reading about it and trying to, enlighten myself a little bit more about it. And I find out that there's another story related to the Rose Red house. Of course, that's in Seattle, Washington, if you didn't know. This movie, it's a TV movie called The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer. Now, Stephen King was involved with this, but he did not write it. Stephen King was executive producer. And I didn't know this was a thing. I'll be honest with you, I had no idea. The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer, R-rated from 2003. So Rose Red came out on ABC in 2002. This came out in 2003 on ABC. Now this is billed as a prequel to Rose Red. So we get to in this movie we'll get to see what leads up to all the happenings at the Rose Red Manor there. So, The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer. Let's see. I like haunted house movies. I really do. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. But, and like I said, Stephen King was a producer, but he did not write this. Prepare to get very creeped out, it says. A prequel to the hit Stephen King Rose Red, The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer unveils the twisted marriage of a matriarch to a promiscuous early 20th century industrialist and the haunted beginnings of an enormous Seattle mansion that has come to life. Passages of the diary track a series of deadly encounters surrounding the Rose Red estate that transforms Ellen, played by Lisa Brenner, from the innocent and submissive wife into a woman possessed by the dark forces inhabiting her home. It's 88 minutes long. This was released by Lionsgate. But I can't wait to check this out and see the kind of the backstory, if you will. The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer. It's only available on DVD. I've gotten the Blu-ray. So can't wait to check this out. Now, hear the ghost's story in her own words. Cool. Let me know, by the way, if you've seen that movie and what you thought. Or are you a fan of Rose Red? I guess is another question. Okay, so next up, something I picked up yesterday. I got this, I got this from Amazon. I pre-ordered because I wasn't sure I was going to see it in the stores. Unwelcome. Break a promise, pay the price. Unwelcome. R-rated, 104 minutes, from 2013. It's a folk horror movie. It wasn't filmed in Ireland, but it was set in Ireland. It was actually filmed in the UK, from what I understand. Unwelcome. A couple escapes their urban nightmare to the tranquility of rural Ireland, only to hear stories of mysterious beings who live in the gnarled ancient wood at the foot of their new garden. As warned by their new neighbors, in Irish lore, the Red Caps will come when called to help souls in dire need of rescue. But it's crucial to remember that there is always a clear price to pay for their aid. So the Red Caps apparently are goblins. So a creature feature here. It's got a nice little slippy dip. Creature feature. Set in Ireland. I'm good. Unwelcome. You gotta pay the price. You gotta pay the price. I've not watched it yet, but I can't wait. Let me know if you've seen any of these movies, like I said. Next up, Every Parent's Nightmare as You've Never Seen It Before. That's right. Children of the Corn, once again. This is like the 11th or 12th iteration of this film. This is R-rated, 93 minutes, from 2020. This is the third adaptation of Stephen King's short story. Apparently, it really was not at all tied in with the first two. This is a separate storyline, if you will. So, I'll give it a watch. Like I said, there have been 11 or 12 in the Children of the Corn series of movies. It's a supernatural slasher. Not heard great things about it. Matter of fact, it doesn't review well. But I've watched all the others, so I wanted to have this in my collection. Nothing ever really dies in the corn. Possessed by a spirit in a dying cornfield, 12-year-old Eden recruits the other children in her small town to rise up and take control. Tired of having to pay the price for their parents' mistakes, Eden leads the kids on a bloody rampage, killing the adults and anyone who opposes her. With all the adults jailed or dead, it comes down to one high schooler who won't go along with the plan and becomes the town's only hope of survival. Put out by RLJE. It has a nice little slippy dip there. There you go. Children of the Corn. Let me know. Have you enjoyed Children of the Corn? Personally, the first two were not too bad. I like those. But I guess this is a Stephen King kind of day, huh? Speaking of creepy, I've always enjoyed this guy's work. This I did pick up at Best Buy. It's the 4K collector's edition of Knock at the Cabin. M. Night Shyamalan. I've enjoyed the heck out of his movies over the years. Not so much old. The last one, that one didn't hit me real well, but I'm going to give this a chance. It's reviewing fairly well. Actually, about 60% of the people who have watched it liked it. Knock at the Cabin. 4K, R-rated, 2023, 110 minutes. It's a horror mystery, of course. This has the ex-wrestler Dave Bautista. Of course, he played Drax in the Guardians movies. It's a psychological horror, apparently. My favorite kind of horror. M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin. Who's this released by? SDS. From visionary filmmaker M. Night Shyamalan comes a thriller about a tight-knit family who are taken hostage by 4 armed strangers while vacationing at a remote cabin. The visitors, led by Dave Bautista, demand that the young girl and her parents make an unthinkable choice to save their family or save humanity. Interesting. Bunch of bonus features, deleted scenes, Chow Blaster, infomercial, extended, choosing wisely, behind the scenes of Knock at the Cabin, tools of the apocalypse, and drawing a picture. Knock at the Cabin. This little slippy dip there. And it's got the Blu-ray and digital code. Nice shiny stuff. All right, and the last thing I picked up yesterday, I was debating whether to get this or not, and finally I decided, well, what the heck. I'm not going to wait around for the steel book versions to come back around. I just don't think I need the steel books, but I am a huge fan of at least the first 3 of these movies. That's right. Superman. 5-film collection from 1978 to 1987. The 4K, Blu-ray, and digital code versions. Of course, it says 5 films, and like I said in yesterday's video, it's actually the 4 films with a Richard Donner cut of the second film. Quite the story with that. I'll get to that in just a few minutes. Let's open this up, take a look, see what the insides look like. There's the side there. There's the back. A super collection of the original groundbreaking films. 1978, I was in the Air Force, and I remember going with my buddies to watch in the theaters the first Superman movie. Enjoyed it tremendously. I've been a huge DC comic fan for most of my life, and certainly I have many right over here. You can't see them in my comic collection. I have many Superman comics. Okay, we got it open. Nothing in the box. Kind of a flimsy little box, but it'll do. So the first one is, of course, Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve involved in this first, all 4 of these. Superman the movie is from 1978. It's 143 minutes long, and it's PG rated. The budget for this film for the time of 1978 was $55 million. $55 million. And it made a whole lot more than that. It was a box office smash. Really did well. A pure delight, terrific entertainment, says Roger Ebert. A box office smash, an Academy Award winner, and a fan favorite since its first flew into the theaters. Superman the movie assembles a cast and creative contingent as only a big movie can. At its heart, and for 3 sequels, is Christopher Reeve's intelligent, affectionate portrayal of a most human Man of Steel. Reeve, Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman, who played Lex Luthor, and Margot Kidder, who played Lois Lane, give performances that fuel the film's aura of legend. Watching Superman isn't just being a kid again, it's better. And there's a few special features, commentary by the producer, and the making of Superman. So, very excited to check this out in 4K. Really excited. So this came out in 1978. And it was produced by, our director was Richard Donner. And the story was written by Mario Puzo. There you go. Number 1. Then we have Superman 2. Superman 2 came out in June of 1981. It was directed at first. 80% of this film was shot by Richard Donner, and then he was fired, let go by the Salkind guys. They replaced him with a gentleman named Richard Lester. But Donner, before he was let go, had a huge amount of footage. Tons, they say, of footage. And, of course, Lester came in and changed a lot of it. And this is the Lester version of Superman 2. Unwittingly released from Phantom Zone imprisonment, 3 superpowered planet Krypton criminals plan to enslave Earth. Just when Superman decides to show a more romantic side to Lois Lane, Gene Hackman also returns as Lex Luthor in this sequel that features a top supporting cast, witty Richard Lester direction, and visuals that astound and delight. So yeah, Lester was he had a more comedic bend to his storyline. And to be honest with you, Richard Donner wasn't a fan of all that. He wasn't. But I like this movie. I remember I watched it in theaters in 1981 when it came out. I enjoyed it. But I'll be honest with you, I enjoyed this one much better. That's right, the Richard Donner cut. The Richard Donner cut came out in November of 2006 after years and years. Donner didn't want to do this cut. He didn't want to do this film. He was done. And finally, fans and supporters and backers all decided, they found a whole bunch of the original film over in some place over in Europe somewhere, and they convinced Donner to do this cut. And in 2006, this came out, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. And I gotta say, they took a lot of the comedic aspects out, made it more serious. So, yeah. I believe what we see in this is there's an alternate opening and a different ending, mostly, is what we're seeing with the Donner cut. It's a little bit shorter in time frame. It's my favorite. I have to say it's just my favorite. This runs just for 115 minutes, where the original one went for 127 minutes. So a little shorter. He cut out a lot of the comedic stuff, I think, is what happened. But huge fan of this one. Director Richard Donner began shooting Superman 2 while concurrently filming Superman the movie. Though the theatrical version of the film was ultimately directed by Richard Lester, in 2006, Donner's original unique vision was released for the first time. Jor-El, played by Marlon Brando, in footage cut from the theatrical version, appears in key scenes that amplify Superman lore and deepen the relationship between father and son. Lois Lane, played by Margot Kidder, plots more schemes to unmask Clark Kent as Superman. With so many changes, large and small, including a different beginning and resolution, this version is an eye-opening alternate experience. Indeed. Superman 2, the Donner cut. Alright, then we have Superman 3. Superman 3 came out in June of 1983. It was also directed by Richard Lester. Was starred, of course, Christopher Reeve. Christopher Lee. Got him on my brain for some reason. Superman 3. Superman 3 is 125 minutes long. It's 1983, and it's rated PG. And in this one, we had Reeves, Kidder, and also Richard Pryor. That's right, Richard Pryor. Meet Gus Gorman, played by Richard Pryor, a naive computer programming natural. For him, a keyboard is a weapon, and as a result, Superman faces the micro-electronic menace of his life. Christopher Reeve reprises his signature role, deepening his character's human side as Clark Kent. Sees Lana Lang, played by Annette O'Toole, at a Smallville high school reunion, and when the Man of Steel becomes his own worst enemy after exposure to kryptonite, Reeve pulls off both roles with dazzling skill. Relive Superman 3 with all its heart, heroism, and high-flying humor. Of all, this is probably my, it's the third. It's probably my next to my last favorite. Let me just say that. But Superman 3. And my least favorite version, but still it's alright, but it's just not up to snuff. Superman, A Quest for Peace, Superman 4. This was directed by Sidney J. Furie. And I was not a fan. Let me know down below if you enjoyed Superman 4. It's 90 minutes long, from 1987. It's PG. In interviews after much later, Reeves said that this was, had he the opportunity to do it again, he would not do this movie. He hated this movie, which was kind of strong words, but he hated it. Christopher Reeve is still giving this character his all. Christopher Reeve not only dons the title hero's cape for the 4th time, but also helped develop the movie's provocative theme, nuclear disarmament. To make the world safe for nuclear arm merchants, Lex Luthor, played by Gene Hackman, creates a new being to challenge the Man of Steel, the radiation-charged Nuclear Man, played by Mark Pillow. The two foes clash in an explosive extravaganza that sees Superman save the Statue of Liberty, plug the volcanic eruption of Mount Etna, and rebuild the demolished Great Wall of China. Not my favorite, but it is what it is. It's in the set. Has to be, I guess. So there you go. Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. And of course, we later went on to have Superman Returns, directed by Bryan Singer, and with the actor Brandon Routh. But that's not included, of course, in the Reeves era. So that's it. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed my little haul video here. Let me know down below if you've picked up anything that I didn't, or if you have a comment about anything that I did pick up. Please feel free to leave your comment in the comments. I would appreciate it. So, if you like my videos, give me a thumbs up. That's right, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when I put out another video. Subscribing costs you nothing, and it does help this channel out. I do appreciate it. Oh, by the way, as far as appreciation, I do give away movies most every Sunday. So if you go back to Sunday's video, use the word madness in the comments section. You'll be entered into this Saturday's drawing for I have a bunch of movies that you can choose from. You're going to be able to choose 2 of them. I'll send them to you cost free. So anyway, that's it from North Las Vegas. Hope you guys are doing great. Keep smiling. Keep having fun. Keep that positive attitude about you. And until the next time, peace.